As we launched this podcast, we knew there was only one place to start, and that was by paying tribute to Diogo Jota. Truly, the first thing that made us fall in love with this club was the people. For us, following a club wasn't about who could win the most matches, but it was about the individuals that made up the team and the values they represent. We wanted to be a part of a club, fan base, and community that reflected kindness, empathy, and thoughtfulness. Diogo Jota embodied all of that. He wasn't the loudest voice in the room, but when he spoke, it mattered. He used his platform to raise awareness around mental health and to uplift women in sports. As Arnie said, so Diogo wasn't someone who chased popularity, but because of who he was, quietly principled, deeply human, popularity found him anyway. I was lucky enough to be at Anfield for the Liverpool versus Everton match last season. It was special, my very first Liverpool match with my dad, but now it carries even more weight. Being present for Diogo's final goal as a Red and hearing the stadium erupt into his song is something I will never forget. And if you believe in science, maybe Jeremy Frimpong's 20th minute and 20th second goal in the Community Shield was just a little wink from Jots to let us know that he's still around. As we head into this campaign, I think it's important to remember that the players in that locker room lost a teammate and a friend. Grief doesn't follow a timeline, and it will show up in different ways throughout the season. We all want the wins, the trophies, the titles, but it's just as important to recognize the humanity of the footballers on the pitch. Our hope in creating this podcast has always been to be a place of positivity and support within this fan base. In honor of Diogo, we hope that we deliver on that even more so in the next 10 months as we engage in conversation with each other. For Diogo, our forever number 20.
Hey everyone, welcome to our first ever episode of the Liverpool Girlies podcast. We're a place where everyone is invited to obsess over anything and everything Liverpool FC. My name is Annika, and I'm here with Molly Ann and Stephanie. We're three friends who united over our love of this very special team and have a dream of one day drinking a cup of coffee at the AXA Training Center coffee bar. We're super excited about this coming season, and we wanted to take some time to recap a couple of things that happened this summer and talk about what we're most excited about as we officially kick off the Premier League season tomorrow. Finally. It's time. It's time. It's been a great summer, but it is time to get back into the Premier League, everyone. Woo!
Crazy as we never actually stopped football. We saw the World Cup, but it's like we haven't watched a football match in 3 months.
It is, for sure. We had a really busy, very exciting transfer window. I'm sure you all have heard about it. We have so many players that were sold, and we are going to miss them all. But there was one specific transfer that hit us deep in the feels, much more than the others. And we wanted to talk about it. That is the one and only Darwin Núñez. He is Darwizzy. He's our invisible string. Really, Darwin is the core reason why we became Liverpool fans. So we wanted to just take a moment to honor him and his time with Liverpool by doing an iconic Darwin Moments mini snake draft. So if you are unfamiliar with snake drafts, there's only 3 of us, but we're going to go with it. It's super fun. So basically, I put our names in a randomizer. We each have a different number, and we're going to start with 1. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, and then the third person gets the next one too. So it's basically like just a little snake. So 1 and 3 go 2 times in a row. Okay. Molly Ann, you were number 3. Annika, you were number 2. I'm number 1. I did not choose this. I have the screenshot of the randomizer, I promise. So build your perfect little collection of some of your favorite Darwin moments while he was at Liverpool. Okay, the pressure of going first. Okay, I'm gonna have to say, because I quote it the most, in the little Christmas horror ride video when Darwin sings, "You'll never walk alone." When I say "you'll never walk alone," that I usually sing it like that. That's how I say it in my head all the time. So that is going to be my first choice, is his "You'll Never Walk Alone."
Iconic,
Yeah.
truly.
Would have been my first pick as well. So completely understand that choice. Okay. Annika, what about you? Let's see. I think this is a tough one. I think I'm going to go with the pregnancy announcement. I loved that moment. I always get super hype when I see a player, they pick up the ball and I'm like, wait, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then, yeah, that was super exciting. So I will never forget that moment. That was a fun one, celebrating him and his family.
Good choice.
Amazing.
Good
Molly, and
choice.
you get 2.
Okay. Again, hard decisions because every moment of Darwin to me is iconic. But first, I'm going to have to pick the Carabao Cup winner where he wasn't playing. He was injured. Was he injured? I don't know because he pushed Curtis out of the way, flew out of the stands, onto the pitch, jumping, screaming, running around. To me, it's just a moment that embodies who Darwin Núñez is and just like his golden retriever energy.
That's how
Absolutely.
I wanted to react to Virgil's header into that goal
Yes.
in extra time. It was so fun. And the edits that I've seen of the horse racing music, it's one of my favorites to just look up on TikTok and just rewatch because it never gets old the way he pushes through all of them. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. We had so many guys injured for that match.
It's just all babies playing. Yeah.
All babies.
So that has to be my first one because I love
Okay.
that moment.
Great pick.
My second one is going to be the last minute winners at Brentford because I will hold fast and true to that is the match that won us the Premier League. And Darwin Núñez won the Premier League for us. So that would be my second one.
I love. Okay. Amazing. I'm very happy that this one is still available. That's always the fear with the snake draft. But I have to take the parallel tantrums between Darwin and Arne.
Thank you.
I can't get enough of that at the Everton match. Oh my gosh. Another video that I can't stop rewatching because, again, Darwin embodied what all of us wanted to do and how we felt at home. And seeing that translate on screen was very satisfying. So, yeah, for sure. Amazing. Last season, when they were doing their FIFA card reveals, and it was like 7 or 8 games into the season. It was a few weeks into the season. And Darwin is given his FIFA card. And he was like, why are my numbers so high? Out of the last 7 games, I've spent 5 on the bench. And all of the guys around him died. Like Luis Diaz collapsed on the ground. Oh, because he was like, excuse me, I haven't been playing very much. Why are my numbers so high? No, it is so good. I also have to pick a last minute winner, specifically at the Newcastle game, 2023. Yeah, because that was an iconic Liverpool girly moment. Because that was our very first attendance to the St. Andrew's pub here in Seattle. And that was such a fun match to be at in person with a bunch of Liverpool supporters, getting to see that. And he got a brace and won that game for us. Yes, I love that one. Okay, my next pick, and I'm really sorry for what I'm about to do to both of you. I'm taking the French braids. I'm taking the French braids.
So good.
Love that Darwin hairstyle. We get to see the braids more often when he plays for Uruguay, but whenever he pulls out the French braids at a Liverpool match, my heart, which was so rare. Yes, if you're familiar with Noah Kahn, it gives a Noah Kahn effect. So we love that.
Yeah, that was a great one. Good pick. Let's see, 2 back-to-back. I'm going to go with Darwin kissing Thiago on the head before he gets subbed on. And Klopp's just reaction. What I think happened? Yeah, I loved it. I love that moment. And, okay, second one. Oh, there's so many good ones.
There's just so many.
I know. I think, blocked goal.
I knew it.
Blocked
Maybe
kick.
you were getting stupid.
When he, like, the goalie goes to kick, he blocks it. The edit, like, the Kung Fu fighting edits to that one, I love it. Another iconic goal.
This is another interview moment that I think about a lot when he says, thank you for your support. Then he's so sheepish. I love that moment. Who was with him? Was it
Allison?
Allison was like, say something in English?
Yeah.
Thank you for the support. Because Allison was giving him the player of the match trophy.
Yeah.
It was so cute. I love that moment. Let's do last round. I'm going to pick the goal that he got last season. It was in November. I can't remember who we were playing, but Mo was tackled and it clearly would have been a red card, but the ball popped out and went straight to Darwin and he got that goal.
Right.
He didn't have too much time to overthink that, and he was able to make that in. That was amazing. And all of his, I'm just going to say, just because they're iconic, all the times that sweet Darwin baby went offside, his offside goals, all of them. It was just part of his identity, and we love him for it.
He's just too fast, okay? It's not his fault that no one else is as fast.
Yeah. And the hope that we would feel for a brief second where I was like, oh, and I was like, that was offside.
Okay, sorry. Side note, but when he like shakes his finger at the ref, because it was offside, and we were like, guys, Darwin knows, okay?
Yes.
Is the king of offside.
That's so funny. Okay, I'm going to go rogue for my final pick because I'm picking a personal moment, which was, for whatever reason, I can't remember which match it was, but we were at the pub watching the game and our TVs kept going in and out. All that we saw was Darwin get the ball and we were over at the end of the pitch and then the TVs went black and I go to my phone and all of a sudden I have a text message from Molly Ann and it just says Darwin in all caps. And so I scream out and the pub erupted and we're all like cheering and dancing. There's still no TVs. And yeah, I always will associate Darwin with that moment of just like having such a great time with other supporters. It's a complete blur to me what match that was and what goal that was because I didn't see it.
Was it Brentford?
It was the it wasn't Brentford. No, it was different. I swear it wasn't Brentford. Was it? It's Brentford.
Because it happened. He scored twice, but it's okay because
yeah, you're right.
chose it for Darwin and we chose it for the fan experience Darwin brought to.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And that was it was really the text message that I received that said Darwin receives my selection.
All right, Molly, and your last one.
I think I'm also going to go follow Anonika's path and go rogue. And it's not universal Darwin moment, but it is the fact that Darwin brought us to Liverpool. There's more reasons why we chose Liverpool, but was like the final piece to the puzzle. So that would be my pick. Because, yeah, without Darwin, I don't know how we would put our time and what we would talk about, to be honest.
Because let's explain that just a little bit further because you love the Uruguay men's national team and you found Darwin through that. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah. So I've been watching the Uruguay men's national team since the 2010 World Cup in South Africa. Loved Diego Forlan. So that was like my introduction into the world of football. And then always watched World Cups, but hadn't followed like a Premier League team. And then post men's World Cup and women's World Cup, we decided, okay, we need more football in our lives. We loved Ted Lasso. Let's watch the Premier League. And then from there, did some more investigating, some research on how we picked our Premier League team. But like the final tiebreaker was, I was like trying not to be like, I love Darwin Núñez so much. But Annika was good to be like, you love Darwin. Like, we should be Liverpool fans. And I'm like,
yeah, absolutely. I also want to shout out that I love that Darwin does this because as a big Swiftie, it like is my little Swiftie heart very good where I'm like, it's a Taylor Swift and a Liverpool reference at the same time. So yeah, Darwin is our invisible string also being a Swiftyism.
And as someone said in our comment section, he's just our little Pookie cinnamon roll. So
yes,
that he is.
So we wish him all the best. We won't see him at Liverpool, but I still get to watch him with Uruguay. So
and they did post today a big picture with him visiting the training center with everyone.
Yeah.
That was so
so
sweet.
Around.
Yeah.
This was my final Darwin Núñez thought. Is I think he would have thrived in this team. I think the speed that we have up front. And so I think I want the best for him. It was heartbreaking as self-proclaimed Darwin Núñez's #1 fan to not see him.
You got everyone at the Orlando pub to like him. Okay. You can take that credit.
Yeah. Yeah. I just feel like there's so much attack, so much speed up in the front half of that. I think he would have been so successful in this team, which I think will still be successful. So it was really fun to watch and see the intensity at attack,
Yeah.
the ball control, the passing. I'm really excited. It feels different. Like, I know we still have a lot of the same players, a lot of new players.
Yeah.
So it felt really different in the Community Shield. But that was my final Darwin takeaway was I think he would have done so well.
Yeah.
But I'm probably also that stage mom that like would have always thought Darwin would have done well. So maybe I'm not the best judge.
Speaking of the Community Shield, what are we taking away from that? How are you guys processing that match from this past weekend?
Yeah, I was just happy to be watching our first team again, if you will, and seeing what they've been cooking up with so many new signings. I'm just so curious about what dynamics are going to happen, what on the pitch friendships we're going to see unfold. So it was fun to start to get a flavor of that. And yeah, there was a lot of, my mind was blown by Frimpong.
Yeah.
The way that he would fall down, get back up, fall down, get back up. Watching him play is so much fun. That was one of the things that I enjoyed the most about that match for sure. Just watching him do his thing. It was great.
Totally agree. Also, it was interesting to see a different midfield and then not to have Gravenberch and Mac there.
Yeah.
I think going into the season, like when we have them back, I think especially McAllister for a whole match, it'll feel a little different in the midfield. But I think it's incredible to see Flo. Ekitike getting his first goal was fun. And like that goal was beautiful. So yeah, just really excited for like that pressure and intensity that I think we'll have. I think last year, sometimes it felt like we were just more on keep the ball.
Yeah.
Like obviously we want to keep the ball, but it just felt a little slower. And I feel like this season is going to have a little more speed to it.
Something that felt immediately so different to me is I remember at the beginning of last season, and I was very much still finding my bearings of understanding what is happening as a game builds and whatnot. But I just remember thinking, okay, it probably takes us about 20 minutes to get our feel on the pitch and really feel like we know where we're going. And I'm seeing what are we building, who's building where, and just how quickly we were on the pitch. And then all of a sudden things were happening. That felt really different to me than last season. And obviously, I don't know if that will be every time. I don't know if it's because we have new players. And so teams aren't quite sure how we're going to play them yet. And so it's just that surprise element. But it like sucked me in immediately. And the tone just felt different because of that.
Yeah. Last year, it was interesting to see the slight tweaks that Arde would make at halftime because we always seemed like a different team on the second half of it just because of his creativity and the data that he can absorb and just translate into how to just make everything work on the pitch. I think it was his interview with Raj recently where Arne was talking about how towards the last season, like toward the end of a season, other teams can always figure out how to block your strategies. And so every year you have to get creative. And so it was interesting to see it so fast paced and just getting used to new silhouettes on the pitch.
Yeah.
I could really feel that Ryan wasn't there. And at the beginning of last season, no one would have ever said that. But I still think, people are starting to notice how valuable he is and how much of a key player he is for us. And I don't even think that's enough. You could just really feel that his presence wasn't there, especially with how fast paced things were on that for that match.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We needed that Gravenberch turn.
Nick,
So good. So good.
iconic.
Of course, I don't want to talk about it, but do I have thoughts? Yes. First off, the way me and my relationship with PKs have changed over the years is insane. Because a little bit of my football lore is that it was the PKs that first absolutely enamored me with football. And I was like, I don't need to watch the match, just show me the PKs, which is actually insane. Now watching Liverpool PKs is what I genuinely have nightmares about. It's horrible.
Especially against Allison.
Oh my gosh. I'm not going to cry on the podcast right now, but like I could. Okay. And so I knew that was coming as we were watching this unfold. I was like, okay, we're going to go to PKs. Like, great. Personally, I was trying to muster the confidence, but I didn't feel great about it going in. And I think watching what unfolded for me validated my feeling about that, where I was like, I didn't feel great about it because it's just not something we're that practiced in, which can get you really far in the Premier League because we don't have to do PKs really very often. But in terms of, I think, as we think about the Champions League and wanting to really make strides in that and make a further win, let's say, I think PKs are something that we have to be locked in on and do really well. It was hard to watch, and I'm really hopeful that we're going to see a lot of improvements over the season. And like you said, Arne is collecting data to be like, okay, how do we do this better? But that was PKs were a big takeaway for me, and I'm going to be like curious to see how that unfolds in this season.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see, especially because it feels like Mo has like maybe a little case of the penalty kick yips. Does Sobo come in and take penalty kicks if we are awarded one during a Premier League match? I don't know. I don't know how that messes with Mo's mentality, but yeah, I'm interested to see, and just I don't expect us to be so sloppy with them. I think was really surprising at the end there.
It was a great opportunity to force us into a high stakes, low stakes situation where no one really cares that we lost it. Man City won it last year and everyone was like, it doesn't really matter. So I'm glad that we had that opportunity to find our weakness points for us to take that back and go, okay, let's not do that again. How can we make this better? And I just want to give the guys time to mesh well and figure out how to work well together on the pitch. That is going to take time, especially since last year we didn't add anyone, and the year before that we added those, who did we, what, 4 midfielders?
Yeah.
And it took some time for them to get comfortable and figure out communication on the pitch.
And that's was something that Arne emphasized last season that felt very different from Klopp, was what happens when you put the same players on the pitch game after game, and they just have more and more time together to develop those bonds and those communication styles and stuff. Because I think with Klopp, we saw a lot more variety in our starting lineup. And with Arne, we saw a lot of the same thing week after week, but then you saw the quality just improve between how they could work together. So I'm super excited to watch that story unfold and figure out who is going to be connected.
Seeing them back on the pitch for that match got me so excited for the upcoming season. There are so many things that we could get into in terms of predictions, and we could be here for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. A lot of times we are when we talk about Liverpool, but that's fine. So instead, we're going to try to do some rapid fire preseason questions and predictions. And we have a couple of questions that we're going to ask each other. So Annika, you're first. Who do you think is going to get the first yellow card of the season? And who do you think is going to get the most yellow cards this season?
First yellow card. Actually, I'm going to give first and most to the same person. I'm going to select Ekitike. And I think he's just going to be testing the waters, figuring out what works. I like it. Molly-Ann, what match are you most looking forward to seeing?
It would be us versus Brentford, because I'm just really excited to see everyone play Kelleher and Hendo. I know not probably title implications, but I can't wait to get to play against Kelly.
I'm so proud of Kelly.
All right, Deb, who do you think is going to score the first goal of the Premier League season?
I think Florian Wirtz. I really do. We have such high expectations for him, and he's met them and exceeded them. So I think Flo. Annika, what do you think Jeremy Frimpong's coffee order is going to be at the AXA Training Center coffee bar? Again, we have a dream of going and having a cup of coffee at the AXA Training Center coffee bar. So we love talking about these things.
Great question. I will find an answer by the end of the season so I can report back. But Frimpong is giving a lot of energy. He's giving highly caffeinated. So I'm thinking iced Americano, but like tall. Just, we're doing a lot of caffeine.
With cream, without cream, sugar.
I'm thinking like a little bit of cream, just like a little bit, but not a lot, no sugar.
I like
Okay,
it.
Molly-Ann, how many trophies do you think LOC will win this season?
I will not be elaborating. I will only use the words of Virgil van Dijk to answer this question. Everything.
We love.
Okay. We've seen headbands grace the field at our Liverpool matches. So, Steph, who else do you think is going to hop on the headband trend?
For those who have not kept track on this piece of data, Dominic Soboslai started it. Thank you, Borka. And then I'm pretty sure Borka talked to Natalia and got the same headbands, and Allison was wearing them. I think that Mac is going to be the next one to join the headband club.
Oh, spicy.
My
too.
gosh. I did not see that coming. Would be interested in seeing that.
Yep. I think he will join the headband club just by vibes, not by hair, but I think just by vibes. Jeremy joined it, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
He was already doing the headband before Liverpool. So.
Yeah. Yes. All right, Annika, what do you think is the unlikely friendship prediction off of the pitch?
I'm keeping an eye out for my introverts. Okay.
Okay.
And last season we saw Chiesa. He came in and he's finding his bearings, seeming a little introverted. It seems like he's gotten more comfortable. I'm perhaps sensing another introvert in Kirkez. Seems a little like he's sussing out the vibes. And I would love to see the two of them have a little training center chemistry, have some coffee bar conversations. I will be keeping my eyes peeled to see if those two make a connection.
I love
like
that. That is unlikely.
That is
Yeah.
very unlikely.
But I like it.
Okay,
do.
Molly Ann, what is your selected hype song of the season?
It is Ale Ale Ale, but I have to give a specific version that I will be listening to pre-match to get hyped up, and that is the Ragamuffins. Their recording. It is the most hype recording. I will be listening to it. I don't care how early the matches are. That is
Okay.
what I will listen to before each match.
You are moving to Seattle. There will be 4:30 a.m. games. We got
for
it.
y'all. That's what I have to
We
say.
got it.
I'm good. Y'all
I'll be bringing my
sorry,
boudoirs.
Okay, Steph.
That's so fun.
Who is your prediction for vice captain?
So I know there's a lot of rumors going on about Alexis McAllister becoming our next vice captain, which I support. If I were to choose, I think Dominic Soboslai would be a phenomenal vice captain because we've seen the way that he leads the Hungary team and just his demeanor on the pitch. And you see the way he silently leads on the pitch. I just think he would be a phenomenal vice captain, Dominic Soboslai.
Love that. Would love to see a Sobo captaincy at some point, for sure.
I just feel like he'd be a really good Verge addition. And especially Mac, two years ago, Mac, no. Now, Mac, I can see it. All right, this is a question for everyone. What player are we most excited to watch on the pitch this season?
I selected Ekitike. I'm loving his on the pitch presence. I'm loving his off the pitch presence. I'm here to see it unfold.
I'm going to pick Jeremy Frimpong, honestly, for the same reasons. I love the on the pitch presence. I love the off the pitch. He is my new golden retriever Liverpool player. If I had to find someone that brings the energy of Darwin Núñez, it would be Frimpong. So I'm really excited to watch him.
For me, honestly, the first person that pops in my head, Ryan Gravenberg. Like, I couldn't tell you anything about him at the beginning of the last season, but there's just something about that rising star that I'm just so excited to see how he further develops with the team and with a very comfortable Arne slot this season, because it is his team, the way that he has moved in this transfer window. Way to go. Way to go, Arne. Well, everyone, that's all for this week's podcast. We're so glad you were here, and we're excited for the future of this podcast and everything that's going to come and all the exciting plans that we have. We will be back here again next week, but until then, you'll never walk alone.